You know FarmerFyr, but do you know MadFyr? Let me explain. There are 52 iron blocks in this chest. I spent a little while trying to get iron to make a full beacon. And there's 52 blocks sitting right here. Anyways, guys, hey everybody, welcome back to the Minecraft survival experience. And since last episode, I've done quite a bit of work on the pathway. I took your guys' feedback from last episode. Majority of you guys seem to like the first pathway I chose, which is very similar to this one, but I made a few different changes to it. I added brown concrete powder. That was a suggestion from last episode. And I also added, I made sure I had the dark oak right here and the coarse dirt. I took out the path blocks because, quite honestly, I wasn't really feeling like it worked out too well. I didn't like how it looked, so I got rid of that and replaced it with this little brown concrete powder, and I think it looks pretty good. Added some fences along the side right here. We might change those out for some. Actually, do we have any dark oak fences that I can quickly try? Boom, boom, and maybe over here. I thought about spruce fences, but I think dark. What if we did a mixture? Can we do a mixture? Can we do a mixture? Guys, it's exciting. Okay, that's not what I expected. I don't think that works out pretty well. But if we have a mixture of, let's say, this one is spruce or something, that's dark oak, and then these are dark oak. This might actually, yeah, I like that. It just works. The mixture of spruce and dark oak really does work out well. So I like that. I think we're gonna stick with that for a little bit and see how that turns out for us. But yeah, this pathway is looking pretty good. I just did a little bit of a turn right here. Here's the house that we built last episode by one of our patrons. And yeah, this pathway is going to go all the way out this way over to here. To this nether portal over here. We'll probably bypass this area. I might actually mine out all that obsidian. Kind of need some more obsidian, to be honest. So I might mine out all of that. But yeah, it seems like you guys have really did enjoy last episode. Really enjoyed this build. Really enjoyed the talks that we did last episode, which I appreciate you guys for. And I thank you guys for hanging out. But guys, in today's episode, I have a few things planned in my head, but we'll see what we actually get into. Let me head over to the to-do list and get started with today's episode. Over here at the to-do list, let's take a look at it. I think I already have an idea of what I want to do. If we go down, yeah, right there. This has been a request for quite a few episodes now at this point, and I finally think I can tackle it, at least do a decent job about it. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be building a windmill. Now, I've already picked a spot. I've already started getting some resources for it. So, and along with that, we're going to be doing something else with that windmill as well. I want you guys to think for a moment. Think for maybe 5 seconds. What is the one thing I'm known for? What is the one thing I'm known for? Those of you in the streams, you'll get it. Those of you who have been around for a long time, you may also get it. You got it? It's in your head. You've got it. Okay. It starts with a W, right? Wheat. There we go. FarmerFyr back in action. But what I want to do around here, as a lot of you guys know, I want to have a wheat field kind of going around here, and I figured this spot right here would be perfect for a windmill. Number one is in the middle of a plains area. Obviously, realistically, there's gonna be a lot of wind flowing through here, not a lot of trees to block it, especially if it's coming from that way. So there's some trees over there, but I think we're going to have our windmill facing probably that way, I'm guessing. The actual blades will face that way. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of wheat going around here. I don't know where exactly the wheat's going to go. I do know I want the entrance to this place to be right there, because we will actually have stuff inside of this windmill. It won't be just an aesthetically pleasing thing. What I plan to do with this is have extra wheat storage. Of course, it makes sense having a wheat field, have extra wheat storage, and have extra storage of different, I guess, crops or just different things in here. Mainly wheat and seeds. It's going to be the storage inside. If you're manual storage, nothing automatic, but I think it's going to serve us well in the end, and will be a great use of the space that otherwise I probably wouldn't have used. So that's our goal for today. Get this windmill up and running, and then get a little bit of a wheat field going on. So let's go ahead, guys. Without further ado, I have some materials over here. As you can see, we have oak, a few bone blocks, cobble, stone, and birch. I'm using these materials for our build today. So guys, without further ado, let me get started making this thing, and I will see you all in just a moment. So before starting this build, I actually looked up how to build a windmill because honestly, I never actually built a windmill before. In all the times I've played this game, I've never actually built a windmill, a functioning, not really functioning, but even an aesthetic windmill in a world. It was never a priority, so I never even thought about it until now. So I actually looked up a few Minecraft designs, a few real life designs as well, builds you would find in the real world. And I got a lot of inspiration from that. That's one of my greatest tips. You can learn a lot from others. Obviously, I'm not the greatest of builders. I'm a good builder, I would say, but I'm not the greatest of builders. There's plenty of builders that are far better than I am. And so trying to figure out how to structure a windmill was the hard part for me. Even just looking at real life pictures really didn't do enough for me. So I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and look up some pictures, see if I can figure out how to build one. And I think I've done a pretty good job of that. I think through the design of this windmill, you guys will see that it's an okay design. It is not superb by any means. There's a lot of different windmill designs out there that are really good. But I do think I did a pretty good job with this, especially for it being my first windmill. You never know how good you're going to be at something or how something's going to turn out unless you try it, right? I've never actually built this thing before, so this was my first attempt, you could say. And now having that experience moving forward, it'll be a lot easier coming up with ideas and whatnot of how to actually build a better windmill going forward after this design. That's one of the biggest things about this game, learning experiences, learning what you can and cannot build, and learning what the best techniques are for building specific structures. So what I'm actually doing to the sides here, as you can see, adding a little bit of texture. I use smooth stone. Actually, a friend of mine, Dukester Games, recently was talking about using smooth stone in builds and how it's not really a thing people do anymore. So I figured I'd give it a shot, and I've really been liking this mixture of cobble and smooth stone. Might actually add some stone brick as well, but I really like that. I really like that design right there. I think it looks pretty good. And we also we have some yew, and I want to just add some texture, some depth, I suppose. Some fences along here, along the inside. As you can see, I use some oak mixed with stone. I think people usually just use stone at the bottom, but I figured mixing a little bit of oak would have continuity because going towards the top, we're going to have a lot more oak logs incorporated, so having oak logs down here as well is going to kind of, like I said, ensure that continuity between different aspects of the build. So I'm going to go ahead, guys, and continue to work on this thing. This is kind of what the base looks like. Our entrance is going to be right down there. We're going to have a ladder inside. Not sure how the interior is going to turn out yet, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, let me go ahead, guys, and work some more on this thing, and I'll be back with you all in just another moment. And placing some spruce fences. We actually are using a little bit of spruce in this build. I really just wanted to use oak and some stones and some birch, which, by the way, a lot of people don't like birch. I don't get it. I get the logs. I don't get the planks, but whatever. But yeah, I also want to mix in some spruce as well to kind of mix things up. And apparently on these things you can have like railings. I didn't know that this was a thing until I looked it up, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Ooh, I actually need to go grab some bone blocks as well. One of the biggest things about this build I'm the most unsure about is, let's actually pull up here, is the size of it. So simply because, as you can see, we haven't even started with the main part of it. And look how big this is compared to that village over there. So I don't know if the size is really going to be much of a factor. But it's something to keep in mind. So if you guys have any suggestions, as always, feel free to let me know. I don't really know how far up this is going to be, because this top part here is going to be divided into two parts. This sort of shorter part down here with the actual landing. We'll have an entrance coming out here at some place. So you can actually come up some sort of ladder, come onto this deck and kind of look out. And also the second part is going to be a much taller part, which the actual fan blade of the windmill is going to be attached to. So those will be pretty cool once that we get them up and running. The fan blade is going to be made out of a lot of wool, lots and lots and lots of white wool. So that should be pretty interesting. It's a pretty, I kind of like the sort of fatter blades of the windmill, so I kind of went with that, and I think it's going to look pretty good in the end. So let me go ahead, guys, and continue to work on this place, and then I will give you guys one more, hopefully, progress update to sort of finish things off for the outside of this build, in just a moment. Why is this? What? How does? What? All right. Well, things have happened. As you can see, the entirety of the outside is now done. You know how I was saying with the fat fan blades? That's what it looks like. And that's also why, moving forward, I was a little worried about this being so big. Even if we head back this way, can I actually fly back this way? See it over here? Yeah, it's very, very noticeable. I also do apologize if you hear any background noise. The wind is literally howling. Literally howling. It's so windy today. It's crazy. Anyways, I don't know if it's too big or if it's just right. When I was first making this thing, I was really hoping it wasn't going to be that big. But now looking at it, it might fit the area pretty well. I don't really know, but I think we're going to go with it for right now. And I'm not too happy with the details in it. I still need to do maybe a few more details. Actually, if we go ahead and hop inside, I can show you guys the inside real quick. This is all it is so far. I got an oak floor. Then we have these little areas right here. You can just kind of come out onto the deck right here. Super easy, not hard at all. So we have those. Then we have this super simple tower going up. I wasn't sure what to do for the tower, so I went super simple. And I think it turned out all right. I think it turned out pretty decent. So, yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this outside part. But now it's time for the inside. I don't think I really have any of the details I want to add to the outside. It's kind of flat, but I think I'm okay with it for right now. I really want to get the inside done. And the inside is mainly going to be for, go up here, chests and stuff. So I think we're going to have one level probably right here. And kind of fill this in like so. And just sort of have multiple levels of chests, I think. This level right here, I think we'll have another level probably right here where this sort of banner's at. What are you doing? Yeah, one more level, I think, right here, and that'll be all levels we have for chests. I'm not sure yet if we're going to do single chest or double chest. I guess it'll just sort of depend upon what we're going for. And of course, we're still need to fix up the ceiling. I think we might actually do some slabs or something there. But yeah, the majority of this is going to be chests, ceiling height chests, and crafting benches. Maybe a few furnaces, and I don't really think we need furnaces. But I'll probably put a bed in here as well. I want to have as many beds around here as possible, and I always hate going back and forth, try to go find my bed. So we might actually put one in here and kind of let it go. Do we actually want to have... We'll do that. That might actually look good on the inside. We can try that out and see if we like that for the inside portion over here. Add a little bit of detail, things like that. But overall, I think this build's turned out pretty well. Let me go ahead, guys, and get some chests put in place. Get some things going on the inside here. Probably put a bed down somewhere, sleep a little bit, and I'll see you all with probably a final progress update for this thing today in just a moment. And as we step inside, I have the bed right back here, which actually put a torch on the wall. Wasn't really sure what to do for down here, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Same with right here. Wasn't really sure what to do for the inside. We do have this little lookout right here, which is pretty cool. You can see the villager breeder over there. We go up here even further. This is where I did most of the work. All kinds of chests, as you can see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4, 24 double chests right there. And we go up even further. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 8. So it's 32 regular chests, which is about equivalent to, or is equivalent to 16 double chests. So in total, we have 40 double chests worth of space in here. That'll be absolutely plenty of space. Well more than I will ever need for this area around here. So yeah, the windmill itself, it's done. It looks pretty good, I think, too. Like I said before, not necessarily the quality that I wanted, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to serve its purpose pretty well, and not bad. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. But for the final part of today's episode, guys, we need to work on the Wheatfield itself. Now, many of you guys probably don't know the origin of the Wheatfield, so let me kind of explain that to you guys while I kind of start this thing out. I don't really know where I want it to go. I know I definitely want it to be up on this pathway. I know I definitely want to have some path blocks going off this right now. I guess I'll kind of go this way. I don't know. We'll probably have it go like around the pond or something. I don't know. It'll go this way. That's what I'm trying to say. But a lot of you guys probably don't know what the origin story of the Wheatfield is. So let me tell you guys how this all started. So it was back, I don't know. It was a few years ago now, but it was in my White's Wondrous Minecraft world, first single player world that I did on YouTube. That some of you guys may or may not remember. But in that world, I created a farm project after watching a YouTuber do some farming project in his world. I said, you know what, I want to try a farm project too. So I tried the farm project, and one of the things that I was really excited about was making a giant wheat field. So I made a gigantic, almost circular wheat field around my farming area. It had a barn, it had a silo, all kinds of stuff. You guys can still go back and watch it. I might actually link it in the top right hand corner if I can remember. If I don't remember, as always, you are free to let me know. I do appreciate you guys reminding me of that stuff whenever you can. But that thing turned out pretty well, and it became sort of a staple for some people. They say, wow, you spent all this time on this giant wheat field. That's crazy. It is crazy. I mean, I don't particularly find myself to be someone who spends too much time making meaningless things, but having a giant wheat field was probably one of those projects that was the most meaningless, but the most fun to do. It was just crazy. It was pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, that's basically how it started. And ever since then, every single world that I've sort of created, I've only had really 2 single player worlds, I guess, since then. I've always had this idea of continuing that theme of a giant wheat field continuous throughout my single player worlds on YouTube. So that's just something I've always considered, and that I definitely think could be of good use here as well. So we do want to have sort of this farming district, not really farming district, but we have this giant plains area, and I figured, why not? Makes sense. Why not? So yeah, that's why we're making this giant wheat field. It kind of makes sense for the area. They would be probably farmers around here. We're everything about lore for the area. They probably would have been farmers that sort of hopefully got along and created some awesome looking things. We're actually gonna make this. We may have to peel some of this stuff back at some point. I definitely want to do that. I'm leaving a one block gap. Actually, don't want that. We will have to come back and put jack-o'-lanterns here for lighting. It's what I typically do, and I think it's the most effective. I'm trying to leave a 1 gap space around here. We might actually just make this path block. Yeah, for now, I guess. No, we'll make that grass. I'm leaving a 1 block space around here because I don't know exactly how wide I want this pathway or how I want this pathway to go. So we're kind of just leaving that space just in case I want to do something more, which I probably will. In the hopefully near future. So that'll be a thing hopefully. But guys, now that you know the origin story, let me go ahead and get to doing a lot of farming, planting a lot of these seeds. I'll probably plant as many of these seeds as I possibly can and see how this looks with the windmill nearby. So let's get to work, guys. I'll see you all in just another, I don't know if this is the 7th moment at this time, probably the 7th, I don't know, a moment. This is the progress we've made today. As you can see, most of it hasn't, or some of it's grown in, some of it hasn't. But this is all the progress I made with the wheat field. Obviously, it's going to be 10 times bigger than this. We're going to expand over this way, probably towards the villager breeder, expand behind it, and expand over to this side. One place we won't be expanding to is around here. Towards the beginning of the season, of the series, something like that. I said I wanted a quarry probably around right here. As you can see, this is directly over where all my mining stuff, or almost directly over where all my mining stuff is over here. I definitely want a quarry going down there. We'll work on that in the future. I just want to make sure I got a space kind of marked out for it, just so that we don't put all the wheat here and then have to remove it. That seemed kind of silly. I don't know if this is exactly the size it's going to be, but this is what I put down for now. But yeah, I think things are looking pretty good so far. I'm really liking how things have turned out. With the wheat field and how things are going. Like I said before, I need jack-o'-lanterns for lighting. Lighting's gonna be a big issue, or we could do some scarecrows maybe, or things like that every now and then. That seems like an idea that might work out well for us, and I'll think about it for the future. But guys, that is gonna do it for the main part of today's episode. I have one last thing for today, the comment for today. So today's comment is from a user by the name of Fovika, who said about the pathways last episode, which by the way, guys, you guys had a lot of good suggestions. I did put a poll in the video itself as well. I looked at that poll before today's episode. I think I might have mentioned that. I don't remember. But Favika said the red terracotta path is super interesting and not something I've seen before, so my vote is number 3. But I need something more, and the path blocks don't really go with it. Granite and red concrete powder might work with red terracotta. I love weirdness in Minecraft, and I feel like a red path is the perfect amount of weird that everybody needs in their life sometimes. That or go for a yellow brick road. There are a good amount of yellow options, and yellow blends better with spruce and dark oak than red does, obviously, according blah blah blah. And it gives you the excuse to continually quote the Wizard of Oz. And I picked this comment specifically because of that yellow brick road part. That was a really cool idea, and I tried messing around with that in a creative world. I didn't really like it, and that's why I ended up going with the path I showed you guys at the beginning of the episode today. But I'm still open to options, and I don't know if the path I chose is necessarily the right path for us moving forward. So I'm still going to mess around with that and see what I like. I may end up sticking with the path I have now. I might switch it up a little bit. We'll see, but hopefully it won't be too different. Hopefully you guys will like it in the end. But guys, that is going to do it for today's episode. Like I said before, hopefully you all enjoy. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead, smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and are not already subscribed. Anyways, guys, take care, and I'll see you later.